Stale here. Everybody knows I love paper napkins in various ways, but I've been pottering around this week and I read a couple of articles and just with my napkins how to make them. So I suppose they're like not really rice paper, but you're making them so they've got a lot of sturdiness and you can crunch them up and so on. And to do that, that's this one here which somebody gave to me, and with the roses on, and another one. I'll show you what I've done. And this is, whoops a daisy, this is a map of New York. So it's got more body than just a napkin would have. And of course where it's a bit translucent, the blue, that's the sea, that's the water around New York. We've been on there on a cruise. You can layer it over and have things like, just pull something out, and over top of words. So if you've written your information about New York or where you've been, then where it's clear you can impose your things underneath, so you can layer it, and it's got a lot of strength. And you can of course tear it, but see it's quite scrunchy. So this one here's the second layer that came off that this New York, because you know most napkins have got 3 layers, and the second layer has had a little bit of it and stuff. And onto the backing I put some ink, but I'll show you what I did before that. Now you need some, I'm using matte medium. People use I read somewhere someone's using PVA glue. I don't like using PVA glue, so I find the matte medium really good. And I paint it onto here, onto this about just know what. And you can see, if you look at what I'm doing, that I work with a fairly big paintbrush. No point in going little if you can go big. And no, I haven't stolen it from Ian's shed. This is my own. I like the big paintbrushes, and I'm not particularly good at being selective about what paintbrushes I have, like other people. And then I'll take a napkin, and you know it has 3 layers, and I should have done this before I started because I was watching grass while I pull off the back layer. This doesn't want to come, of course, and eventually it'll come off the back. Right, here we go. And this is a napkin of frangipanis, which is highly appropriate because right at the moment, boom, boom. I've torn it a little bit, but we won't worry about that. I'll just get that back later on. Now I did read in the thing that about doing this, that you know you shouldn't try not to tear it and all that sort of, but I'm not concerned about the perfection of this exercise. And here it finally comes. And so there's the layers there. Now we'll put this one onto here, on top of that matte medium that I had. I'll just make sure it goes right over the lot of it. And paint it down. Put a little bit more. And I'm using Liquitex, but any matte mediums work really well. I like the matte medium to glue things. I like it to cover surfaces. So we'll give it a good, see how it's become quite transparent. The other thing is and don't worry about the crinkles. It's another thing, if you're that sort of person, make sure you smooth them all out before you start. But it just adds to the texture, and you have to realise that it's not about, for me, it's not about perfection. It's about creating something that you can use onto something. I've torn that quite badly there, but it's all right. And so then you leave it to dry, and you'll need to leave it overnight. It won't dry immediately, even in Australia. And so this is the one I did before, and where it's been glued. When it's dry, next day, I simply pulled it off the back, and you are in effect laminating it. And you can see the plastic from the medium around the edges, and that's the back is quite shiny. Also, I'm working on a background that had a bit of paint on, so I've got extras. and extras could be useful. Now, this one here that I showed you before I put the paper napkin down, I sprayed a bit of colour, and so it's partly, so I've coloured up the white. So think about if you did this, what else you could put in before you put that medium on. You could try some pastels, you could try inks, you could try anything you like. But having done this, it's pretty tough, and you can apply it then to fit it into your work. And as a page, it's quite sturdy now to make a page for your journals or whatever you're doing. And once again, if you put it where it's light, put it over words, over other things. Especially imagine it on an old book pages and things that you might be working on. If you've got a book, you're making a book up about ice creams, in this instance, how it would go. So there you are, that's my little idea for this week. We'll take this one off, and I'll be able to, where I've ripped it, be able to layer it over places where you can see other things, perhaps other parts of the Kimberley or Frangipanis or something like that. So there, I hope that's given you a wee idea, and see you again next time. Bye.